Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tax Talk with Jay. Okay, all right, let's get into it. How are you? How are you? How are you? Every week I say I'm gonna start this thing at 9 o'clock, and every week something happens. I'm telling you, when you're a mom, it never fails. Something is always gonna come up, right? So, welcome, welcome, welcome. To those of you that are new, this is Tax Talk with Jay, where I believe taxes are a year-round discussion. Okay, in this series, we started off last month, and we're going to continue this month. We're talking about, are you really budgeting? Are you really budgeting? Because if you pay taxes at the end of the year and your taxes and your savings are not included in your budget, I'm sorry, baby, but you're doing it wrong. Okay, but that's why we're here, and I'm here to help you out. So sit back, relax, grab a pencil and paper, okay? Now, this is a place where we're going to dive into the things that can help you reduce your tax liability and help you make more informed decisions when it comes to your specific tax situation. Now, here's your weekly reminder. We will talk about a lot of things, but one thing I would never miss the opportunity to talk about is God. So get your pen and paper because we have a lot of information for you today, okay? Welcome. You guys know we can't do nothing over here until we pay the bills, okay? And so if you go to jchambersconsult.services, you see it down here at the bottom. Okay. We have upgraded the site. I hope you guys like the new look, lot very clean, very clean. I like loud, I like colors, but I have so much information to give you that I've had to change the look of the site. So I hope you guys enjoy it. While you're on there, check out the notebooks. I'm pointing the wrong way. Check out the notebooks, all right? So, we're starting this thing, little bit ventures here and there. I suggest you do it too. Remember last week we spoke about what if I don't have enough money to pay my bills? What if we're doing this 50, 20, 20, 10, and I don't have enough money? Here is an idea. So, these are notebooks. We designed the cover, and once we designed the cover, we made them available on our site. We do drop shipping. So, we do a number of things. You'll see t-shirts, you'll see bags, things of that nature. But yeah, feel free to order. You will get it. It's not coming from me. It is drop shipping, so don't worry about it. You don't have to file that claim. You don't have to worry about something I'm producing in my house. It is drop shipping and somebody else is printing it for you. So, tithes, tithes, tithes. Get your notebook. 14 bucks. If you stay until the end of it, I'll send you a promo code for free shipping. Hey, email me jc at jchambersconsult.services and you can get that promo code. Interact with me. I want to hear from you guys, okay? Thank you for your support and have a great day. All right, so let's recap for last week before we get started, start doing anything different. Let's recap from last week, okay? So last week we spoke about the budget, the budget, okay? And we started with our bottom line. So we're going to start this budget with what? We're going to take our income. Come on, people from last week. Income. We're going to bust this thing down into how many parts? Not one, not two, not three, but four parts. Okay, you see it right? Well, I'm still pointing in the wrong direction, but you see it on the board, right? All right, so with that being said, let's look over it. So we're going to bust this thing down to the 50, 20, 20, 10 split, okay? Now, what goes where? In the 50s, where we got bills, okay. In the first 20 slot, what we got? Wants. Oh, I love that y'all are still with me on this. All right, and then the next slot, we got savings. And what's that 10 for? What's that 10 for? Come on, make me proud. Give it to God. Okay, and that's what we're focusing on today. What if I don't make enough? We spoke about this. Now, if you are a person that is concerned about what the people around you are going to say about you, if you decide that oh, we got a little red dot. Oh, we really running today. I feel professional, y'all. But if you are one of those people that are concerned about what people are going to think about you with the type of work that you're doing when it's legal and it's respectable, baby, this ain't the podcast for you. This is a podcast for hustlers, okay? This is a podcast for hustlers. This is a podcast for people that get up and go get it every day. They got that dog in them, okay? Because anybody that knows me, they know if I ain't got nothing else, baby, I got that dog. I'm gonna hustle, okay? All right. So with that being said, gave you an idea. Canva. Canva has a free version. Go on Canva, design the outline for your notebooks, okay? Go to Printify. Ain't no gatekeeping over here. Y'all know we don't gatekeep, okay? All right, so go to Printify, upload that for yourself, and make your journals and your notebooks available. Everybody has something. Everybody has something. Create something. I know you got something inside of you, okay? All right. Now, today's focus is we're breaking down this budget. So, as we go through our series, every series we have, we are going to break down a portion of this budget till we are done. Okay. I'm going to answer your questions. I didn't just throw this budget on you for you to say, well, Jessica, what am I supposed to do now? No, baby. I am going to break this budget down piece by piece. So, today we are focusing on the most important part. I'm not going to talk to you about anything else until we talk about God. Okay. That's your, hey, if anybody that's not with it, anybody that's not following the Lord, go ahead and exit. Exit. Go on, do what you got to do, baby. I wish you nothing but the best. But for us here in my house, we gonna do what? All right, all right. So let's move on, okay? So as we go through, we're going to look back at this budget model one more time because I want to make sure I still have all of you here for me, okay? So 50%, that 50%, that means when we get paid our income, we're going to look at our income and say, I made $914. 50% of this $914 is for bills. 50% of this 914. Now, is $914 a realistic number for people who pay bills? No, but that's what we're working off right now, okay? All right, so 50% of that is going towards bills, 20% for our wants, 20% for our needs, 10% for God. Why? Because without Him, we wouldn't have any of this. So why can't you give God back His cut? Okay, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk. Why did I bring this up? Just can you do taxes? Why are you bringing this up? Because I do taxes. Stick around, find out. Let's look and see what's going on. Okay, so now that we've gone over the budget model, everybody is reminded of where we were last week. How we get these numbers is basic math. We gonna keep on going. I'm not gonna social intelligence. We are gonna keep on going. Okay, now are you tithing? That's our question today. Our question today is, are you tithing? Numbers 18th chapter 26th verse says, speak to the Levites and say to them, when you receive from the Israelites tithe I give you as your inheritance, you must present a tenth of that as the Lord's offering. Okay, you say, "Oh, I went to work. I made this money." Baby, who gave you your gifts? It is very stated very clearly in the Bible that God has blessed each of us with different abilities and different gifts, right? Okay, okay. So if we know that he has blessed us with these gifts, the profit that we get from these gifts is called our what? Inheritance. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. We're having a little bit of Bible study in here today, okay? That's your inheritance. So, with that being said, God blesses you, and some of us are really good at what we do. So, if you're really good at what you do, you probably make a good amount of money, baby, because don't discount what you do, baby. Don't ever discount yourself, okay? So, some of us, we make a good amount. Are you giving back that 10%? Okay. Are you, we all of us are walking around here praying the prayer of Jabez. Okay. We are praying, Lord, I pray for increase. I know that song is in my heart often, often. And I've been praying for increase for years. But have I always been paying my tithes? No. No, this is something I recently started doing when I started to read my Bible again and like really get into it. Because even in Genesis, even in the beginning, when God begins to speak of his children and talk about, the tending of the land and what you're over, he still requires a tenth of what you've done, your best, of the best. So why not give God his money off top? Because he didn't hesitate to wake you up this morning. Okay, okay, all right. I'm so glad that you are with me, okay? Because I need you to be consistent in how you give God back his money, okay? I need you to be consistent. I need Brother's money to come off top. I'm not here for no reason, y'all. I would love to come to you and say, hey, you need a tax certification so that you can help other people in your community learn how to do taxes. I would love to just sit here and talk to you about that. But God is not pleased with me coming to y'all like that. I had to come at you the right way and let you know, baby, everybody is coming to you. Jessica, how can I reduce my tax liability? How can I reduce my tax liability? How can I reduce my tax liability? And God told me to tell you, baby, if you are not tithing, get out of my face. If you are not tithing, I cannot help you. You have to find another tax preparer if you are not tithing. Why is that so important? Because, baby, not only did God say so, I mean, I really shouldn't have to put anything else behind that except because God said so. But he granted y'all a little bit more grace and made it tax deductible. So even whether you have a standard deduction, you're taking an itemized deduction, tax deductible. And if your tax preparer did not tell you that, you probably either need to find a new one or become your own tax preparer, okay? I'm sick of it. I'm sorry. I'm sick of it. Jesus flipped tables. Jesus flipped tables when he found out that they were not preaching the word of his father, when he found out it was for money, when he found out they were false prophets, Jesus was flipping tables. That was a dangerous thing. Those are the things that got him killed. You know what? I pray every day that, God protects my family and he protects us, because I got to be honest with you, I'm tired. I am tired. I am not the tax preparer that's gonna hit you in the head with a big old number and tell you you either gonna let me do your taxes or not. I am the tax preparer that's going to tell you I need you to know what your standard deduction is. I mean, what your tax liability is. I need you to know, and if you don't know, I'm the tax preparer that's gonna educate you. I am tired of us robbing you. I'm tired of us taking your money and doing your returns and then sending you off and you don't know anything. Yes, this is the dangerous side of speaking about taxes and tax preparation. This is the dangerous side. And you know what? Jesus, I'm rocking with you all the way because I'm tired. I'm tired. We're not gonna do this no more. We're not. And to all you DIYers, I'm coming for you too. I'm coming for you too. And I'm not coming for you to stop you from doing your taxes on your own. I'm coming for you so that you can do them properly. Everybody says I don't need a comprehensive tax course, but if you're sitting here on this podcast and you've been paying tithes all these years and you did not know or you were not writing them off on your taxes, A, we might need to get some amendments going on. That's A, you might need to amend some returns. I need to talk to somebody about that. B, you need a new tax preparer. C, is the organization that you're tithing to a 501 50? Now, see, I'm not about to get tongue tied for y'all. Because I'm jumping on stuff that I'm not supposed to get on yet. That's the next slide. That's why I'm getting tongue tied, because I'm jumping on the next slide. But question is, are you tithing? That is your responsibility. That's your due diligence. God gave you that talent for you to do that job, for you to make that money, but are you giving him his cut? That is the question that we have today. Okay, guys? All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Now, before we continue, message from the sponsors. All right, new ebook out. Now, if you're sitting around, you're like, Jessica, why is this book out? It is like May. Ain't nobody thinking about no taxes right now. Boom, bam. You should. You should. If you're sitting around and you're nervous about taking that step into tax preparation because you're not an accountant, you didn't go to college, all you have is a tax certification, baby, spend your $7, $7, okay? Spend that seven. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You're gonna get some information in there. The one big piece of information that I'm going to share with you guys that is not being publicized is the IRS, in order for you to e-file, it is now required for you to be able to be pass a background check. So you have to be fingerprinted in order to e-file. If you are filing taxes for other people, you have to use commercial software. Commercial software requires you to have an e-file number. You have to be able to pass a background check. Now, if you didn't know this, that book is for you, because that's going to give you some more information. $7, $7, $7. It's an ebook. Download it on your phone. It's like 30 pages. I'm 20 between 25 and 30 pages. I'm not playing with you. I'm not writing giving you a PDF with 4 pages. That's about 25 to 30 pages. So go ahead, look into it. It's going to give you a lot of great information. Of course, we have the guide available. That's a different story. That's a different sponsor, okay? But for now, here we go. So I love you guys. Thank you for your support. And for my up and coming tax preparers, make sure you check out that book, okay? Thank you. Okay, so we are back, and we are back with one key question, okay? Because we're talking about tithing, we're talking about our churches and our institutions and things. Is your organization that you are tithing to a 501c3? That's the question, because there are a lot of nonprofit organizations out here, but there's a difference. There's a big difference between a 501c3 and a nonprofit. Now, how do I know whether or not, what do I do? A, first thing you're gonna do is go to irs.gov. You know that's my favorite website, you know how I feel about that website, okay? I feel like all taxpayers need to be familiar with their local and with their state and federal IRS website. So I need you to IRS.gov. We're talking about federal here, okay? Because federal applies to everybody. State you have to look into, but federal applies to everybody. So IRS.gov. Now, when you go there, you're going to look for this publication 526, 2022, right? So before we jump into that publication, I want to let you know because for anybody that has not filed taxes for the 2020 year, if you have not filed your taxes for 2020, you can still file. If you even if you have not filed an extension, you can still file. They're just charging you monthly if you owe. Now, if you're getting a refund and you have not filed your 2020 taxes, there is no penalty for that. Okay? If you're getting a refund, you can still file if you're getting a refund. If you did not, this is just a recap of some things we went over. If you don't have a W-2 and that's why you didn't file, then you need to go to Social Security and get your wages from there, and you'll be able to file. After a certain amount of time, it's also available on the IRS website. Now, why am I urging you? Because this year is the last year for you to e-file a 2020 return. So if you have not filed your 2020 taxes because you cannot e-file them online, it's because you need a commercial software to do it. So that means you have to go to a tax preparer. You have to go to a tax preparer in order to e-file that 2020 return. I know I've sent a couple of them already. Along with you having to go to a tax preparer to get that 2020 return filed, because of coronavirus, they suspended limits for charitable donations. So if you got your paperwork and your documentation for your charitable donations for 2020, they suspended limits for that year. So please make sure you are looking at that and you're into that information because they suspended limits for a few different things, and I'm going to tell you. Um, what we want to understand, we're not gonna look at the slide right now. We're looking at it, but we're not gonna look at it right now. We're gonna come back to it. We're still talking. So 2020, temporary suspension of limits on charitable contributions. So a cash contribution made to a qualifying organization made during the calendar year of 2020. If it's all three of these items to qualify, the contribution must be a cash contribution made to a qualifying organization and made during the calendar year 2020. They have temporarily suspended limits of charitable contributions. So, baby, don't miss out on the opportunity to cash in that. Okay, don't miss out. The money that you don't want to pay a tax preparer is probably you're probably looking at a refund and you're holding yourself up. Don't do that. Go sit down, talk to somebody. A $25 consultation. I know for myself. I don't know about everybody else, but I know a consultation for me is $25 an hour. So if you can sit down and do a consultation for somebody to sit here and say, well, yeah, based on what you're telling me, this is what you're going to get back, that's $25, okay? And then you can end up doing it on your own. You can go to a website. I want to say, well, it's 2020, so you want to do it on your own. You'll pay the tax preparer, but don't not file your taxes, okay? Please look into that. But anyway, so along with the suspension for 2020, we're going to 2021. Now, when we go to 2021 and 2022, here are the changes that have happened. For standard deductions, when we're talking about just changes over the years, that's what we're talking about. Um, that you can, people sometimes people say, "Oh, I got to itemize if I'm going to do charitable donations." No, you do not have to itemize. You can still do everything you've been doing, standard deduction, and you can deduct for 2020 if you choose a standard deduction, you can deduct $300. So it's $300 whether you're married or whether you are single. Unless you meet those qualifications for the suspended limit, okay? Unless you meet those qualifications. You don't meet those qualifications, like it's not cash, wasn't done in 2020, or it wasn't to a certain organization, then it's $300. That's the max for 2020, whether you file and married jointly or not. 2021, $300. Or if you're filing married and jointly, it's 600. So that's been the change for 2021. It's 600 for 2021 for the charitable donation write-off if you are only choosing the standard deduction, okay? If I'm confusing you, you need a comprehensive tax course. If you don't have time to purchase one right now, check out my YouTube channel. Tax classes start soon, okay? Now, let's continue. If you itemize your taxes, which means you get all of your receipts and everything that you've done over the years, and you say, hey, I've done all of this, this should equal the amount I'm supposed to pay in taxes, so I shouldn't have to pay you guys. If you're one of those people, then you can't go over 60% of your adjusted gross income. Okay. And if you're one of those people, you know exactly what adjusted gross income is. If you do not know what adjusted gross income is, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't worry, I didn't come here to leave you behind. I got you. I don't have time to teach you on the podcast, but I got time to teach you on YouTube, okay? I love y'all. We got this. We got this. I'm telling you, we got this. And to my 2 followers on Spotify, y'all want something from the stove? I so appreciate y'all. Y'all want something from the stove. All right. So now that we've spoken about the changes in the charitable donations, just a little bit, especially for the 501 C3. I want to just talk about the difference because some of you, like I've made a contribution to a nonprofit this year. Ballers World. It's happening in Charleston, September 11th. It's called Battle on the Deck. Okay, coolest thing I ever seen. Basketball tournament. You can sponsor a team or a couple of teams. This year, J Chambers tax and business consult, we spent $1,000 and we sponsored a team. So, because we don't ball like that, so we did the bare minimum. But we're gonna be out there. We're gonna have T-shirts and everything. It's a great cause. So, whenever you get a chance, look up Ballers World. The organizer we're working with is Ernest Gas. On the website later on this week, we should have some information for that. So, if you're looking to be a vendor or anything of that nature in Charleston, South Carolina, September 11th, he is still looking for vendors. So, but that is a nonprofit organization. Okay, the church that let's give you an example. When I was living in South Carolina, um I went to New Spring Church. Really awesome. And so they built houses. Like they really give back to the community. So when you pay your tithes, when you go in the church, they actually give presentations showing you, hey, this is what we did with your money. We built this house for this family. We built this church. We have this organization. Like I love it. So that was something. I no longer live in South Carolina. I live in New York. So in New York, I've started going to the bridge. And so I'm really loving it. I just want to say that. I'm loving it. It gives me that similar New Spring feel. And so I love that. And it's 501c3. So I can pay my tithes and I'm getting that form back that you need so that I can write that off on my taxes versus the nonprofit that I paid the $1,000 to sponsor the team so that I could be also be a vendor. So different things. I just want to kind of give the difference in there for you just to give you some insight. But definitely don't be afraid to go look at that publication, okay? Link to it coming on the website. I know the recap area at jchambersconsult.services is not there yet, but it'll be there by Friday, okay, guys? Single Mama 3. Give me some time, but I got you. But if you have any questions or anything like that, shoot me an email, jc@jchambersconsult.services, and I promise you, I'll give you an answer. You'll get an answer between 24 and 48 hours, okay? Now, 501c3. One thing we need to understand is nonprofits are usually state level organizations, okay? They can apply for that federal designation. They can, but all of them do not have that. So you have to make sure you check. Yes, there is a database on the IRS website where you can check and see if your church or organization is a 501c3. Okay, but this is a federal nationwide designation awarded by the IRS. Okay, so you need to make sure you know that. Now, what clearly distinguishes these two? Um, the donations for the 501c3 are tax deductible to their donors. I need you to understand every last penny is tax deductible. Now, you need to know your limits on claiming that, but that's what we're going forward with. Now, if anything we spoke about today has confused you, adjusted gross income, standard deduction, itemized deduction, I'm still getting used to this, y'all. If any of this has confused you today, I need you to sign up for that course, okay? If you need a payment plan, I'll give you a payment plan. I don't have a problem doing that. I take PayPal payment plans and I have a system to create my own. Um, I'm here for you. Tell me what you need. JC at jchambersconsult.services. Shoot me an email. Tell me what you need. We will work it out together, okay? Online or instructor led. We're not doing any more instructor led right now for the next 10 weeks. When we open up again, we'll let you know. But right now, we're only allowing people to enroll in the self paced courses, okay? We have more than just the intro, but what I'm talking about right now, if I confused you in any way with anything I'm talking about, take a tax course. If you do your own taxes, take a tax course so you can understand what TurboTax, H&R Block, whatever you're using is telling you. You're not getting that 1 year burst of information when you sit down in front of the software, but you have the information you need so that when you're listening to things or you're online, keywords stick out to you. You know whether or not those things have to do with your personal or professional tax liability. So we're enhancing the community here. We no more will you be sitting around saying go get you a good tax lady or a good tax man. No more will you own a business and I say who does your tax and you say oh someone's no. No, if you own a family business, somebody in that business needs to be doing the taxes. Somebody needs to be doing the books and the opportunities for these are free, okay? You can get a bookkeeping cert from Intuit Academy, baby. I got mine from Intuit Academy. I offer you this 10-week online comprehensive course here. If if you want to go to Intuit Academy, it's free. Ain't no gatekeeping over here. Do your thing. They offer level 1 tax, level 2 tax certification, and bookkeeping all for free. But if you need guidance, if you need study groups, if you need a mentor, sign up for that one over there. Yeah, sign up for that course, okay? Because that course got me. All right. And if you can't afford that, go to YouTube. Subscribe. Classes. We doing it step by step. 10-minute lessons. 10-minute lessons. I'm going to get you there. Okay? I believe in you. I just need you to believe in yourself. All right? All right. Now, girl, you done gave me all this information. 5013C. You told me go to church. They give me a letter. How do I apply this to my taxes? Said the aggravated taxpayer. That's okay. That's okay. I know you're aggravated. I know you're aggravated. That's okay. That's what I'm here for. So let me tell you how you apply this to your taxes. Okay. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a letter. You're going to get a letter. You're going to make this contribution. And once you make this contribution at the end of the year, they're going to give you a letter. When they give you this letter, it's going to tell you how much you contributed for the whole year. So that's why it's important to keep track of that. Make sure that matches your normal, budget, whatever you put in the budget for that month. Make sure it matches all your paperwork, okay? Now, once you get that letter and you sit down and you do your taxes, you have to decide what kind of filer you're going to be. We just spoke about it. Are you doing standard deduction? Are you doing itemized deduction? You do know that, right? Did your tax preparer tell you what you normally take? They probably did. You just didn't listen. I'm gonna need you to listen next time, okay? All right. So most of us take the standard deduction. Most of us take the standard deduction. And when I say the standard deduction, it's the government tells you how much you're liable for taxes for the amount of money that you make. And we look over not we, they look over how much they took out your taxes out your check over the year. And if it accumulates to that amount, then taxes paid. If it does not, then you owe taxes. That's basically what it is. Okay, so standard deduction, that's what they do. They say, hey, this is how much we took out of your check. Did it meet the mark? Did it meet the mark or not? If it does, you don't owe us any money. If we took too much money, we'll send you a refund. If you qualify for credits, we will add some more money to it. But if we didn't take enough money, run us a check. Okay, that's all it is, right? With this, if you decide, standard deduction, which means you don't have to bring in all your receipts. You're not bringing in a bunch of receipts trying to say, write this off, write that off. You're just saying, hey, this is how much I paid in taxes out of my check. Do I owe anything else? Now, if this is the route that you're going, then you for as we stated before, for 2020, if you have not filed those taxes, $300. No matter if you're married, filing jointly, filing separately, $300. Okay. 2021 and after, $300 per person for single head of household, qualifying widower unless you're filing jointly. Filing jointly, $600. Okay. Qualifying widower, $600. If you don't understand what those are, if I have gone over your head, catch me on YouTube. Take a comprehensive tax course. Just stick with me. I got Stick with me, okay? You can deduct this along with your standard deduction, so you don't have to do anything but bring that paper. But you can. Any tax preparer that tells you you can at least do $300, they got to tell you why, baby. Because with the standard deduction, you can at least deduct $300. Does that mean only give God $300? No, don't do that. Don't do that. I want you to be blessed. He wants you to be blessed. Do the right thing. Give God his 10%, okay? Now, I didn't forget about your itemizers. Did I forget about you? No, I did not, okay? I would never forget about you guys. Um, But with that being said, we got a chart here. If you cannot see it, I'm letting you know that it's on the IRS publication. We're still on that same publication of 526, okay, charitable contributions. So we're just gonna scroll down past the introductions, and we're gonna go to our chart. Table 1. That's the examples of charitable contributions. So quick check. This chart tells you what is a charity, what qualifies, what does not qualify. And this is just a little excerpt from the IRS.gov. Please go and look at this publication. I urge you. There are so many links to answer a lot of your questions. The IRS has really put down a really good knowledge base to answer questions. You just have to, want to read. Um, Let's see. So your deductions for charitable contributions cannot be more than 60% of your adjusted gross income. What is your adjusted gross income? Adjusted gross income, if you're itemizing, that means all the above the line deductions, such as your 401k, HRA, IRA, things that we deduct before we decide what your actual tax bracket is. So for example, if you made contributions to your 401k, IRA, things of that nature, however much money you made for the year, that has to be deducted. That has to be deducted from that amount. So if you made $80,000, but you put $10,000 in your IRA, then that drops you down to $70,000. Okay, that drops your tax. That drops your tax bracket. I'm giving it to you. I am giving it to you. Really, like I'm laying it out for you, baby. I am giving it to you. Okay, those are the above the line deductions. So don't come at me telling me, Jessica, you didn't tell me how to reduce my tax liability. Oh, baby, I'm handing this to you on a silver platter, okay? And then I'm handing you the basics. We haven't even jumped into some real tax write-offs. We talking about the basics right now. Woo, it gets good. So, um, this is your chart. This is kind of giving you an example. You will run into some cases where you got a 20, 30, or 50% limits. So I do advise you to go to this publication and look over a few things. Are we going to dive into this publication on this podcast? No. Am I going to dive into this publication on YouTube? Yes. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I think it's one video up there, open house. I'm going to take that down because, I didn't look like this when I did open house. But, and I ain't have all the information I got now. So we're gonna have to take that down. We're gonna do another one. But stick with us. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We got you, okay? Now, let's go on through to the next one. The recap. All right. So let's talk about the things that we've talked about today. So close my book because we done. God has blessed you. He gave you the talent. He gave you the know-how to make the money that you need to make. Are you cutting him his 10%? Are you cutting him his 10%? That's all we did. We broke down this budget. Are you cutting him his 10%? Now, how can you saying, "Oh, I don't make enough money. You want me to cut 50% out and pay bills? I don't make it. That's not enough money to pay my bills." How are you praying for increase if you have not cut God his 10%? Okay? Okay. So, that's number one. We're trying to reduce our personal tax liability. We've looked at the fact that we can make charitable donations to reduce our personal tax liability. We have looked at the difference between a 501c3, which is normally your church organization when you pay your tithes, and a nonprofit. Okay. We have looked at the limits, what we do if we're doing the standard deduction, what we're doing if we're doing the itemized deduction. Baby, here we go. If we want to know where to get more information about this, we're going to go to irs.gov. We're going to go to that search bar. We're going to type in publication 526. Okay. Now, have we had some changes? 2020. This is your last year that a tax preparer can e-file your 2020 tax return. This is the last year. So, with that being said, make sure you're looking at those contributions. For 2020, they did change some of the qualifications for the itemized deductions. Okay, I'm sorry, charitable contributions. So make sure you look at it. They did a temporary suspension of limits on charitable contributions. I'm bringing this up because this is your last year to e-file your 2020 return. There was an extension granted. You do not have to mail that. A commercial with someone using commercial software can e-file that for you. Do you have to pay them? Yes, they're a tax preparer, but why would you not? Why would you not? Okay? If you did not know that you could that the 501c3 contributions, aka tithes, were, tax deductible and you've been itemizing, you might need to amend some things. You might need to go look at some things. You might need to make some changes, okay? Um so next week we're going to come in and we're still looking at this budget. This is our series for the month. Are you really budgeting? Okay, this is our series. This is what we're doing. How we gonna start taxes off? We got to start off right with that budget. Get this tax liability down. Okay, so next week, we going after a 20. We going after the 20. No, actually, we're going after the 50. I'm not going to leave y'all in suspense on them bills. We are going after the 50. So when we come back with pencil and paper, and we are going after that 50, and we're going to decide how we pay our bills. So we're going to come back with a model for our bi-weekly people, our monthly people, and our weekly people. Whoa! 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 We're tackling three different types of pay periods. It's gonna be exciting, right? I'm excited. I love this. I love this. So you see, I love this. This is my life. This is what I'm into. So, hey, of course, I'm gonna get excited. Okay. So recaps will be available on Friday on the website, jchambersconsult.services. Y'all gonna remember that. Y'all gonna have that down by heart by the time y'all finish with me. But yeah, the recap will be available on Friday. YouTube videos go up every Monday. I'm gonna try to put my first two lessons out this week. It's been busy, y'all. It's been busy. But I'm gonna try to put those first two lessons out this week. Also, check on us on Saturday. We got a little treat for you. We finally got that City Point video. Finally got it edited. So now that we've gotten it edited, we're gonna go ahead and reach out and we're gonna try to shout those people out on the show. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of them on there. I know I'm excited about that chocolatier I met. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check my Instagram page. We have a video up. That's the first one for the chocolatier for the women in business at City Point. So that's been a recap of our show. Um, Thank you so much for joining us. One thing I do want to say is all questions and requests to be on the show because I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about your current tax situation. I want to talk to you. I want to answer your questions. So send them to me, jc@jchambersconsult.services. I want to hear from you any questions or concerns you have. You want to be on the show? Send me an email. I can send you a link so that you can record yourself. I can invite you to Zoom. Whatever needs to happen, I am here for you. Okay, guys? So, I heard, other people say this, so I think I'm going to start doing it. You have two jobs from this podcast. The first one is pay your tithes because God said so. The next one is come back next week. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and take care.